Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bull sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Cancer, December 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, goodness. There we go. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. And do excuse my voice or any stuffiness. I have a bit of a cold. So we have here the Emperor, which is Aries energy, coming through right at our root. If we have Aries within our natal chart or in our lives, they come through at the root of us. This part of our personality will be coming through kind of at a fundamental aspect of ourselves during this time. And also people who are Aries will kind of affect us more than others will. So just be aware of that. And then we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. Now, if we're born on the cusp with Gemini, or we have Gemini within our chart, the same thing holds true. This part of our personality is going to come out more intensely than it usually does. Also, if we have Geminis within our lives, they come through very powerfully at our root. They're just going to affect us more. We have the Six of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Cups. There's balance needed to be had, and we're coming through as the Queen of Cups. We're represented in the cups, in the minor arcana, as the Chariot, there we go, in the major arcana. So here there's just this nurturing, teaching aspect to us that's going to be coming forward. And there's this sense of a broader world to be seen than what everybody else is focusing on. So that's going to be quite interesting and quite powerful. We have then the Three of Swords. The Three of Pentacles, the repeat of the number 3, is telling us that divinity is on our side, even though at times it just doesn't feel that way. And then we have the Nine of Cups. So wishes are coming true, sweetness is coming in. We're having to face a lot of things that we've just buried down very deep within ourselves. And that makes sense astrologically during this time, which we'll get into in just a little bit. We then have our public arena self. And we have the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, amplifying this Aries energy that is here. But also, if we're born on the cusp with Leo, that's going to be coming through very powerfully at this time. The Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords is knowing what to take with us and knowing what to leave behind. It's wisdom through betrayals and wisdom through ways that we didn't really want to become wise, but it's through living and it's through the hardships and the pains of living. So this is going to be quite powerful because we're really stepping into our passion, our fire. There's a new dawn, a new day. There are always going to be secrets around during this time, so things that we're not fully seeing, but that start to come to light bit by bit. It's kind of like a comet streaking across the sky. We'll see it, and then it'll be gone, and then we'll see it again. So just be aware of that. Kind of like a meteor shower. Let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Strength card. Now, this is Leo energy coming through. Correlation in the public arena, yes, most definitely. But there's also a sense here that we can be easily bullied during this time. Now, that's not saying that we're weak or that we're malleable or anything like that. What it is saying is that people who have very strong opinions, very strong ways of wanting things done and wanting to do things will see that they can boss us around, or will think that they can boss us around. This is a time where we need to know that strength is not brute force. It's not the size of one's muscles. It is the will and determination of the heart. And that's going to be quite a game changer here for us. So just be mindful of this. Just also be mindful of somebody who just doesn't play fair. They're not going to. They want the recognition. They want the esteem. They want to move forward. And if you don't move forward, that's tough luck on you. So just be aware of that. This person is going to be very much out for themselves. And now let's see our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So we have the heart chakra coming through twice. We have play and forgiveness. So with play, the interesting thing when it comes to play is that human beings do not play, cannot engage in play if we do not feel safe, if we do not feel secure. So what Spirit is really telling us is to feel safe and secure within ourselves, within our souls, to be able to laugh, to be able to embrace joy, to be able to play. And then we have the forgiveness coming through in the heart chakra. We have looking at ourselves and being able to say, I forgive. I forgive all the hardships, all the pains, all the disappointments. I forgive others, yes, but I, more importantly, forgive myself. I forgive myself for letting this person have so much control over me. I forgive myself for letting their words be more powerful than my own inner voice. I forgive myself for being too young or too much in love or too naive to see what they were doing. I forgive me, and I set me free. Because we can forgive somebody else, but still hold that dark cloud within ourselves. And this is the time where we let it go, or when we begin to let it go, where we start to see that we cannot take all the blame, and we cannot take all the hurt onto ourselves. So let's start with the astrological aspect of this time. On December 1st, we have Neptune going direct, which means that it comes out of retrograde. Now, this draws a close to a time of spiritual and psychological transformation, which has brought us into a greater connection with our hidden spiritual gifts, our hidden sense of self, and our hidden desires for the way that we want to move forward. On the 4th of December, Mercury is opposite Lilith. Now, this can be a frustrating time because miscommunication really comes into play, and it just builds and brings up frustration. This is a time where we can feel unseen and unheard. And so we just have to be sure that we stand within our own power, within our own selves. Make sure to be honest with ourselves, with what we want, with who we are, with where it is that we want to be. And don't let others define us. This is a time where we can definitely take other people's words, other people's definitions, and say, yeah, well, that must be true. And what Spirit is saying is that no. This is a time where we get to stand tall, where we get to stand proud in our energy, in our being, in our understanding. And because it is Mercury and we have Gemini energy here, it means that it comes through stronger for us than for others, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And so here, whenever Mercury comes up in the astrological configurations, that's just going to hit us a bit harder. So be aware of this. Be aware of the miscommunications. Be aware of the frustrations. Be aware that we're just going to agree for the sake of just making things easier. And it's just going to have us lose our voice. Now, also on the 4th of December, we have the new moon and a solar eclipse, which will be covered in a separate video. On the 6th of December, we have Mars sextile Pluto. And now that hits us hard also because we have Aries energy here. And Aries is ruled by Mars. So this energy comes through very powerfully for us, Cancer, more so than for others. This is a tremendously driven and determined time. This is a time where we look at achieving our goals, going after what we want, and really setting ourselves on that course. We want to go our own way. We want to lead and not follow. So just be aware of this with everybody. Everybody wants to be the leader of their own group or their own little expedition of one. This is a time where it's going to be hard to really connect and really see other people's points of view. Everybody's going to be over explaining. So just be mindful of that. People will sit there and think, and I smile because it's just going to be a bit frustrating and a bit funny because we're going to think, oh, well, if I just explain it better, you'll see it my way. And that's how everybody's going to be. If I just explain it better, you'll see it my way. And yet everybody has their own distinct way of seeing everything during this time. The way that we get through this and the way that we should approach this day is by embracing our personal confidence and our powerful sense of self and alignment with what we want. And then letting that move us forward and not trying to make everything fit into a perfect little box. Now, on the 7th of December, Mercury is squared Neptune, again coming through quite strongly for us because of the lovers at our root. This is a time when walking in the normal world seems odd and off-putting. It almost seems as if, the dreams are more real than the reality. And so this is a time for imagination. This is a time for creation. This is a time for brainstorming and new ideas to come forward. Communication is going to be jumbled just because everybody's living so much in their own heads. On the 8th of December, Mars is squared Jupiter, again coming through more strongly because of the Aries energy here at our root. This alignment is highly positive, highly creative, and it really energizes us. It is enthusiastic, it is strong, it is courageous, it is sensual. And so we are embracing that enthusiasm, that strength, that courage, that creativity, that energy of sensual discovery of self and what we desire. We need to make sure that we stay in alignment with ourselves and our energy. It will be very easy to kind of scatter out into other things. If we don't have a creative outlet, if we don't have a physical outlet, what we're going to find is the intensity of this energy becomes hard to focus and hard to hone. So just be aware of this. On the 11th of December, we have Mercury sextile Jupiter, which again is amplified because of the Gemini aspect here at our root. This is a time of questioning and curiosity. This is a time of being open-minded and of non-judgmental attitudes. This is a time where we seek and we discover and we acknowledge and we dive deeper. We're also going to be really drawn to travel because Mercury rules short travels and Jupiter rules long travels. So this is going to be a time where we want to explore and question and just discover during this day. Now, on the 11th of December, Venus is conjunct Pluto. This brings love and karmic love to the forefront of our day. Now we have Mercury sextile Jupiter, which comes through very strongly because of the Gemini. Now we have also on the 11th, Venus conjunct Pluto. So again, love, karmic love comes to the forefront. We have to be aware of our hearts and our heart chakra. Our heart chakra is always coming through during this time very, very powerfully. It wants us to notice it. This can be a day where we need to sit in meditation of our hearts, or we just need to be mindful of what we love and that centering of our love, of our hearts, of what we desire. As any turmoil or undealt with scars, undealt with hurts and pains, and we can see that here at our heart. We have things that we've just pushed down. They come to the surface and they can knock us off our game. So kind of beating this to the punch, looking at it before it looks at us. On the 12th of December, the Sun is squared Neptune. We're going to be forced to see and call out our weaknesses. And this is going to be something that can make us feel vulnerable, that can make us feel overwhelmed. But we also want to stand on our own 2 feet this day. We're going to be finding our voice, even though finding our voice can kind of mean that we're trembling inside. It it overpowers us. It's like the sense of I need to assert me, but also I kind of want to hide away. I want to shrink into myself. But the assertion shines forward more like the sun. It just shines forward. We're astoundingly sensitive and caring today. But we also have to remember to take that caring and that sensitivity and focus it on ourselves, because we can give to everybody else and just completely forget about us. On the 13th of December, we have a few things happening. First, we have Mercury entering into Capricorn, which again is amplified because of our cards here and the Gemini energy. Now, this makes us astoundingly methodical in our thinking and in our way of perceiving and talking about the world. It's almost as if all the joy, all the laughter can be sucked out of things, and we just want the facts. We just want things to be facts and numbers and black and white and no areas of gray whatsoever. So just be mindful of this, because this very much goes against our chakra energy. Very much also goes against our Cancer energy of discovery and love and peace, and just this connection of hearts and this emotional IQ. It's going to be more about the IQ during this time. So just be aware of this. We need to step back, okay? Because we're going to be taking things just way too seriously. We need to listen to our hearts and not judge our hearts, not judge our hearts simply out of logic. And that's going to be something that we can find rather difficult. Also remember to speak kindly and with compassion, because that's going to be something people just have a bit of a hard time with during this time. And it can really cause arguments. People can be rather harsh, rather blunt with their words, and it's not going to come out the way that we expect it to. So just be aware of this. Now, also on the 13th of December, we have Mars entering into Sagittarius, which again is going to be amplified because of our cards, because of the Emperor here. Now, what we also have to be mindful of, and what I forgot to say with Mercury entering into Capricorn, is that Capricorn is our sister sign. It is the sign that can drive us up and down the Mississippi, can make us completely frustrated and angry and intense, but it's also the sign that can bring out the very best in us and can, foster our brilliance like nobody else. It's like a sister is. So just be aware that the Mercury entering into Capricorn and the logic, that's going to be a little bit more intense than Mars entering into Sagittarius. Now, this brings a maddening duality. There's the fun-loving sign to this alignment, this passion, this fire, this intensity, but then there's also the aggressive sign. We feel very strongly about things, and as we feel very strongly about everything, we find it hard to see other people's point of view. We find it hard to really connect in that way, which is so important for us as Cancers. We need to have a physical or spiritual outlet for all the fire that this alignment is bringing us, because if we don't, it overwhelms us. If we don't, we find our temper becoming higher, and that mixed with Mercury entering into Capricorn can make us very caustic, very biting, very, very intense. So just be aware of this. On the 14th of December, Mars is opposite the North Node, again amplified because of the Aries energy here at our root. This is a time when the intensity of Mars needs to be tempered with the conscious peace of the North Node. Now, Mars has us looking for action and doing, while the North Node brings to the surface our motivations to work out karmic debt and for spiritual growth, which is something we're going to be very drawn to during this time. This can be an amazingly powerful time as we balance listening and doing, watching and understanding, as we balance the fire with the peace. So that's going to be quite intense. We have here the Emperor. We have here this sense of, I am claiming my throne, I am claiming my power, I know what it is that I want, I know where it is that I'm going, and nothing and no one will hold me back. And so this Aries energy comes through astoundingly strong at our root. And we find it leading us forward in ways that we hadn't imagined. There's almost a sense of somebody has to lead the way, so why not it be me? And we have astrologically this sense of, I need to be in the forefront of things. I need to be hands-on with things. This makes us very good at making decisions, making harder decisions than maybe we would want to, looking at things intensely, looking at things powerfully, seeing the bigger picture. We can get caught up, and this is something that we're going to have to be mindful of. We can get caught up in certain things that will make us look good. So we just have to be mindful about that, losing the bigger thread of things and following only what will highlight our talents or will highlight our point of view. We have to see things in a well-rounded, well, compassionate sort of way. And it brings us to the lovers. We're falling in love with our lives again, and the passion is coming forward. We're also not just falling in love with what we see. We're falling in love with something so much deeper, so much more. And as we're doing this, we're stepping into our power, ourselves, our identity, what it is that we want from our world, what it is that we don't want from our world. We're having the duality of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine coming forward. And as we do this, we start to love ourselves. We start to see what it is that we desire. And we start seeing what it is that we thought we were supposed to fall in love with. And we thought we were supposed to be because that's what the world says, or that's what everybody else does. But now we're starting to see, but this gets to be for me, but this is my life. So what if I don't love this? Like, what if our favorite month is winter? If we're in the northern hemisphere, when it's really, really cold. And everybody always talks about loving summer, right? In the northern hemisphere, or vice versa in the southern hemisphere. And we think, oh, I should change that because I want to fit in. And we've done that ever since we were little. Well, now we get to say, I love winter. I love winter, and I'm going to embrace it fully and openly and honestly with myself. And it's just a sense of my heart gets to shine forward. We also have to be mindful of wanting people to love us. That's Gemini energy. Aries energy is this power of I'm going to get done what needs to get done. And Gemini energy, Aries energy is I'm going to get done what I need to get done. And Gemini energy is I want to be loved. I want to be connected with. I want people to value me. And we can have this war because we can't always get done what we need to get done and be loved and respected by everybody. Well, not respected, but loved by everybody. And so we're going to have to find this balance. And it's going to be something that we have a bit of a problem with during this time. We're also going to find that we need things to be balanced in our lives. There's a sense of generosity coming. Now, we can be this generous person handing things out to others, but we also have to be mindful of resentment brewing if we are this generous person. We're also going to find that people are giving and not taking, right? So they can be giving us more work to do, or they can be trying to be so nice, but they'll never take a thank you from us. Or it can be that, people just expect us to handle everything, giving us more work and more work and more work and never taking anything off our shoulders. So just be mindful of this. Just be mindful of the way things are out of balance in our inner selves and the way that we're dealing with things, the way that we're seeing things, the way that we're understanding this energy around us. It leads us to the Queen of Cups. And this is us. This is us nurturing the inner child within us. This is us nurturing the next generation. We can definitely see it as that. This is us also connecting with something more. This is a healing. This is a coming together. It doesn't mean that we have to connect in a physical way. It could be over the internet. It can be through writing or through art or whatever it is. This is a sense of I'm opening up the door and I'm really embracing something beautiful within me. This is also a sense of healing is a part of me. Love is a part of me. Passion is guiding me forward. And it brings us to the Three of Swords. It kind of, as our hearts open like this, there's this thorn in our side. There's this fear of the hurt and the pain coming back. What we have to do is we have to look at what has scarred us. And we all have been scarred. Nobody gets through life without getting scars. Some are different than others, most definitely. But what we have to acknowledge here is the pain that has made us want to hide away, that has made us doubt our own worth, our own desires, the way that we want to move forward in our lives, what we want from our existence. And so here, we're really starting to do that. We're naming the scars. We're naming the hurt. We can give it names. It could be our caregivers, our parents, as we were growing up. It could be teachers. It could be boyfriends, girlfriends, partners that didn't see us, didn't understand us, didn't love us the way that we needed them to. And this is a time where we're looking at that hurt and we're saying, I acknowledge you. I see you. And I take that sword, and instead of it keep the wound open within me, I'm releasing that wound from me and I'm letting myself heal. I'm letting myself be empowered. And that's where we start working on things. And I love that she's sewing up the blanket. She's sewing the blanket she's creating. And this is going to be us kind of like sewing up those wounds and creating warmth and security around us. We're guarding our wealth. This is a time where we really know what is important and perfect for us. We really know what we need to hold on to, how we need to hold on to it, what it is that we desire, how it is that we're moving forward. And we start to really, put our foot on our coins. We start to put our foot down about money. We start to, state things that we have created, that we have put the time and the effort into, that maybe other people are taking credit for. And we're thinking, no, that's not okay. And that's not fair. It then leads us to being able to quench our own thirst with our own prosperity. And it leads us also to creating something really quite beautiful within our lives that have us looking at our dreams, that have us, focusing on what we desire, but also have wealth and prosperity blooming up around us. There is a sense of wishes coming forward emotionally, and we're not going to see this. People are going to see this within our hearts, within ourselves. There's something beautiful here. There's something that is very much us coming into our own energy, coming into our own self. And what we have is this sense of love and wishes and beauty and just a sense of connection. And we're going to be a part of it. And yet we can feel so disjointed from it. What Spirit is saying here is come into the place of love. Come into the place of connection, however that is for us, whether it's through a prayer or a meditation, whether it's through a connection with family or a walk in nature or, our dogs, our cats, our pets, whatever it is that connects us with the blessings of this earth and the blessings of ourselves. That's what we need to connect with this time, because it charges our hearts, and our hearts are intrinsically important to us here. And then we have the Queen of Wands. This is passion. This is creation. This is understanding. Our passion and creation is coming forward. We're going to start to see things coming to the forefront that we hadn't seen before. We're going to start to see ourselves moving forward in a way that is fiery, that is intense. This is perfect for the public arena, because this is a time where we're not going to be pushed around by anybody else. We're not going to be, worried about everybody else's opinions, everybody else's desires for life. We're really going to be saying, what do I want? What do I need? Where do I need to be? What is it that I desire for my life? And what is the bigger picture of me? We have this beautiful sacred feminine energy here with the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. We also have this counterpart energy with the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands, being able to put out the fire, being able to boil the water. What we're going to see is that we're balancing ourselves out with our tenacity and our fire and our determination, our passion for what we want to achieve within our lives, but also this healing, this, calm within ourselves, the sense of, I know my center and I see my center more often than I don't, meaning I'm connected to myself and I hold this safe, sacred space for me. It moves us to the Seven of Swords. It moves us to understanding our betrayals, our hurts, our pains, and our disappointments. It moves us to taking the energy and the knowledge that we need and leaving other things behind, saying, I don't need to carry that anymore. And what's more important, I don't want to carry that. I can't have it weighing me down. I can't have it taking away my joy. And that's where we stand in our passion more and more and more. We stand in our fire with more determination and more focus. Our subconscious energy that we need to be mindful of is the Star. We need to be mindful of dreams overpowering reality. And for people who are playing only to our dreams without any facts to back it up, without anything more to really align ourselves with. So do be aware of this, that a person can really see what we are longing for and say, oh, I promise that to you, or oh, I can definitely help you that way. You only need to give me, XYZ. You only need to trust me implicitly. And this is going to be a time where it might feel easier to do that, but this is something that we do by standing on our own 2 feet. It doesn't mean that we don't have a spiritual advisor or a therapist or, friends and family to talk to. What it means, though, is that we are centered within ourselves and not handing our power over. It then moves us to our chakra energy, which is personal power. This is the solar plexus chakra. We are embracing our personal power. We are embracing our intensity, our fire, our determination, our focus. We are really starting to see ourselves move forward towards something so much more than we ever expected us to be. There's fire in here, there's passion, and we are utilizing it so beautifully in the public arena. And to really break against that which has held us back for just way too long. Our subconscious rooted self is the Hermit. Now, this is Virgo energy. This is a sense of walls tumbling down, things that have held us back, things that we didn't know in our subconscious we were holding on to, falling away. Because as we connect with our inner selves, as we see ourselves more openly and more honestly, we push ourselves forward. And we get to, embrace the boar. There's something here about the boar that is very important. And I don't know exactly what it is. It's just that boars in ancient Celtic tradition were they were the nastiest animal, that you could find, boars and wolves. But if you went boar hunting, that was astoundingly skillful and and brave, because the boar could cut open the main artery in your leg with their tusks. So it's almost here as if we're facing something that would be very easy to run away from, and that people would be like, oh yeah, of course you didn't face that. Or we would say to ourselves, of course I didn't face that. Like that's terrifying. But here, there's just such a beautiful sense of, I saw the terrifying, like I looked into the face of darkness and I found myself, because it didn't scare me anymore. And after the face of darkness was the face of light. And then there was the blending of the two, and I could see. And that's going to be something that's beautiful and powerful, and it moves us to our subconscious, inner self, and that's the Nine of Swords. We're going to overthink, we're going to overanalyze, we're going to worry just for the sake of worrying. And this is something that can really drag us down. Because the Nine of Swords, it's not sleeping, it's not taking care of ourselves, it's being overwhelmed. And what Spirit is saying here is to really step into you, and to not let the stress of the world bring you down, because it can absolutely easily do so. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Ace of Pentacles. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of prosperity, wealth, success, and bounty. This is us walking through the archway into a new chapter of our lives, into a new chapter of what we want to achieve and how we want to achieve it. There's a sense here of goals being made and understood. And then we have our subconscious public arena self, and it's the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords is this sense of new pathways opening up. I thought there was one road or another, and now I'm starting to see that there are more roads coming forward, that there's more to my life than what I had originally thought it could be. And I'm opening up to that expanse of my being, that expanse of myself, and that expanse of what I desire. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer.